there any King County Superior Court judges here? I heard a rumor they were coming, but I haven't seen them yet. All right, the floor is now open for nominations for King County Council District 8. And Martin? And would you like to cede your time to the candidate?
I will cede my time to the guy back there.
Oh, but yes, okay. And as you know, if you don't know, Joe McDermott is running unopposed. And I asked him, I said, so here's a weird question. Do you want us to endorse you even though you're running unopposed? And he texted back to me in big capital letters, yes, I've never won an election without the endorsement of the 34th Thames. So it's my pleasure. Joe McDermott.
Thank you, Marcy. And thank you for the opportunity to represent you for the last 4.5 years on the King County Council. I am here to ask for your endorsement for another 4-year term tonight. Some 30 years ago, the City of Seattle enacted domestic partnership benefits for their employees who weren't eligible to cover their legal spouse because marriage for same-sex couples wasn't legal.
May we have your attention, please?
That is kind of like the states being laboratories for the nation. It started in cities like Seattle. We were one of the first. And then other local jurisdictions, including King County, did the same. And then the state of Washington. And pretty soon we were having a conversation about civil unions and domestic partnerships across the country. And then we were talking about marriage. And now we have marriage in many states, and we're awaiting the U.S. Supreme Court decision. That's the kind of progressive incubation that happens when progressive groups take action in local government. That's the kind of work I've been proud of being a part of on the King County Council for the last 3.5 years. From the Oregon low-income lift fare to afford a $1.50 fare for low-income people to ride our metro buses, to pay parental leave that we've just asked the executive to propose for us. I want to continue working on those progressive policies on behalf of the 8th Council District and the 34th, my home district, for the next 4 years, and I ask for your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Les Trail, would you like to speak as well? Would you like to cede your time to anyone? No? All right. So at this point in time, I think I'd like to hear a motion for acclamation. So moved. So moved. Is it seconded? Seconded. So moved and seconded. Acclamation motion to endorse our King County Council member, Joe McDermott. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? Thank you very much, and congratulations, Joe. Okay, thanks very much. Is there a judge here? Is Samuel Chung here? Okay, well, we'll figure this out as the evening goes along. So, before I begin the nominations, I'd like to ask if there are any questions. Is everybody pretty clear on how this is going to work? Because I just don't want us to go down a wrong alley somewhere and then things get crazy. Okay, so thanks very much. The chair will now open up the floor for nominations for Seattle City Council District 1.
Madam Chair!
Chair recognizes Les Trail.
I nominate Shannon Branish for Seattle District 1.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Who seconded it? Okay. The reason we need to know that is because we got to go back to you guys. Okay, Shannon Braddock, are there any other nominations? Chair recognizes Pete Spaulding.
I would like to nominate Chad Redmond.
All right, is there a second? Who's that? Ah, thanks, Michael. Couldn't see it. Are there any other nominations? I'm sorry, I don't know your name. Chair recognizes the person in the burgundy sweater. Could you please stand? Could you please stand? Oh, no. All right, never mind. It's Michelle Thomas. Could you please stand?
I nominate Lisa Herbold.
Is there a second? I need someone who is... There's Stephen Yarn here. Hi, Stephen. Thank you very much. Stephen, did you second this?
I do.
Okay. All right. Nominations are still open for position 1, Seattle City Council. Chair recognizes Ed Duprat.
I nominate
Phil Towell. All right. Thank you, Ed. All right, nomination. Oh, was there a second? I'm so sorry.
Second.
There's a lady back there waving her hand. Can you please remind me of your name? Barbara. Thank you. All right. The nominations are still open for position 8, or excuse me, Seattle City Council position 1. Chair recognizes my neighborhood PCO, Jamila Johnson. Thank you. Is there a second?
I second.
And you are... I thought so. Thank you. All right. At this point in time, I'm going to close these nominations because these are the only candidates that have returned their King County candidate questionnaires and have identified themselves as Democrats. And at this point, we'll go forward. And at this point, let me see, I'd like to check with Les Trail. Les, or would you like to speak? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Les.
Just 1 second. Sorry. At this point, for this race, I'd like us to have 2-minute speeches. However, I would appreciate it if the second speech could be somewhat shorter than that. And I'd like you to please keep in mind that if you do speak against someone, you're going to be prolonging the agony for us all. Thank you. All right, so Les, 2 minutes.
Hi, I'm Les Trail, and I've known Shannon since I've been coming. She's been coming about the same amount of time. She's been a very active member of this organization. She's supported us financially and with her time, and has been very involved in the community. And I used to see her all the time at different fundraisers for nonprofits in the area, and I cede the rest of my time to Shannon.
Shannon Braddock, and I have been a 34th District Democrat for many years and a PCO. And I am a member because I believe in the progressive values of this organization. And I appreciate the way that the 34th District Democrats support and promote those values in our communities. I serve on the board of Westside Baby. I have served on the board of the West Seattle Food Bank, and I have volunteered at the White Center Food Bank with many of the people here in this room. I have doorbelled and phone banked on behalf of endorsed candidates and ballot measures, and I have the experience to go to work for you at the City Council. I have experience at the federal, state, and local levels of government, most recently for Joe McDermott at the King County Council. And I have the legislative ability and the working relationships to bring people together for effective outcomes for the issues we care about: reliable transportation, responsible growth, housing affordability, and healthy environments for our kids, our families, and our seniors. And as a proud working mom of 3 kids who attend our Seattle public schools, I walk the walk of this organization, and I ask you tonight for your endorsement. Thank you very much.
All right, is there a seconding speech? Chris? Oh, yes. Would you like to cede your time? Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's my honor to deliver the seconding speech for Shannon Braddock in her campaign for the Seattle City Council. I already mentioned that I've served on the County Council for 4.5 years. The smartest thing I have done in that 4.5 years is to hire Shannon as my Chief of Staff. She has given me excellent advice and counsel about the district, the needs of West Seattle and beyond, and also how to most be effective in a small legislative body. I have been chair of the Budget Committee for the last 3 years as we've adopted the county budget, and that is where I would use as the example I would use of Shannon's excellence in advising me and making sure that the needs of this district and of West Seattle, Delridge, and South Park were met. And also, that as chair, I was getting good advice to make sure I was balancing the other needs of my colleagues, the 8 districts that make up the rest of King County. That's the kind of balancing act that's going to have to take place at the Seattle City Council as they move to district elections and representing districts. I've seen Shannon effectively balance the needs of a particular district and advocate for them, and also make sure that the whole is met and that you gain enough success for your own ideas to be successful. She's a principled consensus builder, and I would urge your support for Shannon Braddock for Seattle City Council District 1. Thank you very much.
Are there any speakers against? Are there any speakers against? Are there any speakers against? Hearing none, then we will move on to the next candidate. The next candidate is Chaz Redmond. Pete Spalding, would you like to speak here?
Hi, my name is Pete Spalding. I'm a proud PCO, 1494. I have had the honor and privilege of working alongside Chaz Redmond on many, many projects in our West Seattle community. And I'm very proud to support him for his run for District 1. And I will cede the rest of my time to my friend Chaz. Thank you, Pete.
Thank you all so much. I've been a member of the Political Events the second year I moved here, and I have been overwhelmed, frankly, by the doorbelling that I've been doing. Everybody in this part of the city itself, the 34th and the 11th, they are so willing to tell you what they want and what they need. And as you know, I've been sticking my nose in your business for a long number of years now. And I know what you want for transportation. I know what you want for equitable distribution of services and goods and funding. I know what it takes to keep people who are distressed out of distress. And I'm looking forward to your endorsement because I think that my collective abilities over a long number of years, both here at the National Park Service, at NASA, in the Army, have given me an ability to look at problems, find the solutions, working with other people, collect those ideas from other people, involve those people, get them as part of the solution, and then move forwards as a team. And I've done that for the last 12 years here in West Seattle and South Park. The Duwamish River Coalition invited Sustainable West Seattle to be one of the first participants in Riverfest. We're very proud to be the long-standing members of that event. So thank you for the opportunity. This is my first run at elected office. I have a really good, successful career track record for bringing communities and ideas to fruition. I seek your endorsement. I will do an awesome job for you, and as you know, I'm very accountable. So thank you so much.
Michael, would you like to speak as well?
Yep, I'll just wrap up by saying that as someone who's had the privilege of working with Chaz on a number of neighborhood issues here in West Seattle. It's a privilege to be helping to support him here tonight and asking you to endorse him. Even the more I read his documents, I'm shocked by just how many other things he's done in the neighborhood that I wasn't aware of. He's been a part of nearly every neighborhood festival in West Seattle, helping to launch a number of our community groups, and working his way up from the Morgan Community Association to the Southwest District Council to representing us on the City Neighborhood Council. So he knows how to both represent our views here in what's going to be District 1, as well as taking those issues out citywide and working with people representing every corner of the city. And I'm confident he can do that as our first district elected city council member.
Thank you, Michael. All right, our next candidate is Lisa Herbold, and we have Michelle.
I'm Michelle Thomas. I have been working on affordable housing issues for 17 years, and I've lived in West Seattle for 11. Lisa has been working hard, longer than I have, for the city policies that protect the affordability and diversity and character of our neighborhoods. But Seattle's facing a crisis, and we all know it. The cost of housing is skyrocketing, and if we don't have bold and seasoned leadership on the city council, West Seattle and the rest of the city will become a place where many of us in this room will no longer be able to afford to live. We cannot gamble on a candidate who waffles on the policy solutions. Lisa will work for the highest possible linkage fee so that developers pay for the affordability, and she will work on other important policy solutions. She has a proven track record, and she's already shown that she knows how to get things done. I think that if you are seriously concerned about the future of this city and of West Seattle, you should join me in supporting Lisa and endorse her. Thank you.
There's still some time left. Michelle, would you like to cede some time?
I will cede to this gentleman right here.
All right. Could you please introduce yourself?
Good afternoon, or evening, I suppose. My name is Stefan. I'm a PCO from Alaska Junction, a communications representative with United Food and Commercial Workers 21. And I'm here to stand up and advocate for the candidate who's going to make Seattle more affordable. Right now, we need someone who knows the issues, someone who's lived and breathed these issues. We need Lisa Herbold, who lives and breathes these issues. She's going to fight for people like the grocery workers who can't afford to live in this city. Not just because she will do it, but because she's done it. For renters and unpaid sick leave. With that, I cede the rest of my 2 minutes to Lisa Herbold. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Lisa Herbold, and I'm running for District 1. I believe our district deserves strong, principled leadership that's not afraid to lead. I've come to this race with a set of experiences that make me the most qualified person to represent you. I've earned my reputation working inside and outside of government on behalf of people who do not have the ear of City Hall. I have the support of 4 labor unions, including the endorsement of Councilmember Nick Licata. I've worked on behalf of people in this city on passing laws like paid sick leave for 190,000 workers who did not have it beforehand. Rental housing inspection for safe housing. And I've worked on behalf of District 1 as well in getting a new opportunity fund created so that we could have the South Park Library built for safer speed zones for our children, and as well for replacement housing for residents at High Point. If I am elected to be your representative, I will fight to make sure that developers build housing with affordable housing for everybody who needs it. I will work to make sure that transportation is funded with developer impact fees. I will be a consistent and persistent advocate on behalf of public safety, making sure that our police are fair and police without racial bias, and I will ensure that our labor laws are enforced fairly. I hope to get your support tonight, and thank you.
Phil Tavel and DuPras? Okay.
I'd like to nominate Phil Tavel and cede the rest of my time to him as soon as he gets here.
Hello, my name is Philip Tavel, and I have lived here in the 34th District 34th Legislative District for 17 years. And obviously this is an amazing night. The fact that our first district elections in 100 years could bring out this many people is fantastic. And I applaud all of you for coming to pay attention to who's running in this race and who's going to be the next voice from our district. Because this is incredibly important tonight. The people in this room, you're going to decide an endorsement, or possibly not, depending on how the evening goes, who is endorsed by the 34th Democrats for the other 80,000 plus people that live here in District 1. And I'm here to tell you that you need to think, who do you want to be your voice? There are 9 people on the council that control a $4 billion budget. And when they go into a room and they talk about needs and desires, I will be there representing District 1, and I will be representing it for District 1. And I am that voice. I have been a teacher for almost 8 years. I taught physics. I've owned several different companies. I started a video game company here, and I owned a retail store. And I've been a public defender for the last 10 years. And I've been an advocate for most of my life. I've volunteered with Rotary. I'm a court-appointed special advocate for children, and I am a member of the 34th. And the fact is, you need to think about who is going to stand up and be the loudest, strongest, most capable voice. We need a change here in Seattle, and this is a time where we're going to get new council members and new people with new views. And I want to do that for West Seattle. I want to bring a new viewpoint, a change, something different, because not everything is working perfectly in this town. We need to fix affordable housing. We need to fix the parking issues. We need to fix traffic issues and deal with the police in this town. I want to stand for all of you for all of those issues. Thank you.
Barbara, would you like to cede your time to speak, or would you like to speak yourself? Who would you like to cede it to? Lois, okay, thank you. Lois Shipper.
Hi, I'd just like to say that I've worked in the community on a number of issues, a number of venues, schools. I work for public health, and I'm really interested in getting somebody on the council who knows what's happening in terms of treating folks, how our justice system is working. I think Phil's background as a CASA, representing kids who are in the CPS system, his background working as a public defender has really helped him see some of the issues that are at least important to me and what I'd like to see the council address. You know, we've all know what we've gone through with our police force in Seattle, addressing some of the disproportionality, addressing some of the other issues around that. I think Phil has a unique perspective that he brings to that because of his work as a public defender, seeing how folks move through that system, seeing who's arrested, why they're arrested, and what that looks like relative to the population of Seattle and who ends up incarcerated. So I would just really offer that you should consider that. That's a different perspective than many of the other candidates are bringing to this discussion. Doesn't mean that the District 1 issues aren't going to be at the forefront around transportation and housing, but I think he has that broad perspective that stands up for everybody in the city, not just a certain portion. So I would encourage you to vote for Phil.
Thank you. And our last candidate for Seattle City Council Position 1, Jamila Johnson. There you are. You're so prompt. Thank you. Jamila Johnson, you nominated Brianna Thomas.
I did. Hi, my name is Jamila Johnson, and as a lawyer, I really like advocates a lot. But as a resident of High Point since the age of 9, I also really know how much West Seattle needs an advocate. And considering how much West Seattle really does need an advocate, I'd like to cede the remainder of my time to Brianna Thomas, Washington State Democratic Party Activist of the Year. Thank you so much, everyone, for that warm welcome. Thank you for having all of us here yet again and listening to the support that I've received so far on this campaign. Who knew that an Army kid from Hepzibah, Georgia could walk into West Seattle and get so far with conversations with our community, conversations with our neighbors, and the people who are actually making decisions. The one thing that I'd like to take away from this evening, with the exception of your endorsement, of course, is that we all stay focused on the fact that we are the Democratic Party. We are the People's Party. We are the party where every voice is heard and every voice matters. And I hope that at the end of this endorsement process, we all stand together in solidarity with each other and all of the candidates that are more than qualified for this position. 2016 is right on the corner, as Marcy reminds us, and she didn't expect to have to put this much energy into our municipal issues. So let's make sure that however this vote goes this evening, we're all prepared to stand together for 2016. We've seen some LDs fall apart under the pressure of this civic, of this year's city races, and I just hope that doesn't happen to us in the 34th. My name is Brianna Thomas, and I'd appreciate your support.
Brian Judd. All right, Brianna, would you like to speak some more? All right. Is there a speaker against? I've been forgetting to ask. We've all playing so nicely. Are there any speakers against? And last time, are there any speakers against? All right. Well, I think we'll go ahead and move on. At this point in time, the bylaws are a little squishy on this, and I'm afraid that if I say something like I'm going to close the nominations, that suddenly the world will stand still. So right now we're just going to move on with our nomination process. Where is my tally committee? Oh yeah, but just a second. Where is my tally committee? Can I have you all come up here for a moment to my left? And while you're doing that, Ann Martin is our credentials person, and she's going to give us a credentials report.
Well, actually, I was also going to read the names of the people that I recruited for the tally committee.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Okay, the tally committee will consist of Tamsin Spengler, Steve Butts, Lisa Plymate, Mike Parker, Martha Koester, I always say your name wrong, I'm sorry, Kester, Steve Karbowski, Libby Carr, Jimmy Hahn, Chris Weiss, and Kathy Minch. I've tried to balance the committee, but anyway, they will be picking up your ballots and they will be counting them. I assume we're starting with the white ballot?
Yes.
Okay, and then the final thing is that the credentials report as of 2 minutes ago was 157.
Whoa, okay, one moment, Ian. Chris?
I'm just wondering, would it be Ann, or you can make it abundantly clear how we must be filled out?
I'll be getting there, yes, thank you very much. All right, now this comes to the really important part. These folks will be doing the counting. These folks will also be going around with our little white plastic baskets and collecting your ballots. If you have a voter's pamphlet, or ballot, who has a voter's ballot? Does everybody have their voter's ballot? Does anybody not have their voter's ballot? I probably should have started there. Susan Harmon, okay, get with it. So we're going to start with the first one, which is white. At the top, if you would please write some sort of title on it that says something to the effect of Seattle City Council #1. So we know what we're talking about. And then you'll see there's a second line. On that second line, please write your candidate's name. And then please print your name and sign your name. And please don't fold them. It's very important because we cannot count spoiled ballots. A spoiled ballot is a ballot that is not signed. A spoiled ballot is a ballot that we cannot decipher your intention to vote. So please do print your name and sign your name, and please write as clearly as possible. The white page first. Okay, I'm going to let them go around and start collecting these. The candidates' campaigns may allow one representative on the stage to watch the process. I also, after this, there will be more process, I'm sure. Oh, I know, very important, because we have more than, please hang on to your ballots, don't give them up yet. Please don't give them up yet. I want to say that it is also possible to choose no endorsement on this vote because there are 5 candidates, there are more than 2, so you can also choose no endorsement. I'm so sorry, I meant to make that clearer earlier. All right, they're going to collect those ballots now, and then we will be moving on.
Marty's got it. It's going to be yours in just a moment.
Okay, before this goes completely off the wheels, hello? Is anybody here want to be a PCO? Apparently Les received some phone calls today from some folks volunteering. If you wanted to volunteer to be a PCO, please speak, Les, wave your arms like frantically. Please see Les Trail. Last call for ballots. Are there any ballots left? Last call for ballots. All right, at this point in time, I would like to take this opportunity to recognize some elected officials in the room. All right, I'd just like to point out that to my right, there is a little bar here, and it is serving beer and wine. We only ask that you tip our server. And if that might make you calm down just a tad, can I urge you to please go do that? All right, Chair spotted Representative Eileen Cody in the back of the room. Representative, are you here? And Representative Joe Fitzgibbon just walked in. Thank you for being here. And of course, King County Council Member Joe McDermott, we all saw earlier. I'm wondering, I cannot see anything in the back of the room. Are there any other elected officials here? Oh, thank you so much. Seattle City Council Member Tom Rasmussen. Anyone else? Oh gosh, yes. And our esteemed fire commissioner from North Highline, Liz Giba. Bill Tracy here tonight. All right, so I need to have your attention because we need to move on to some more speeches. Thank you. I'm going to wear this thing out tonight. Are there any King County Superior Court judges in the room? Hearing none. We are now going to move on to nominations for Seattle School Board Position 6. Nominations are now open for Seattle School Board, and the chair recognizes Joe McDermott. speaker could possibly contain themselves to a minute, we would appreciate it. Yeah, but waiting on it. So, yes, Les Trail. Marty McLaren has been nominated. Is there a second? Who's seconding? Can't see you. Please stand. Recognize. Oh, thank you. Jackie. Okay. So. Can I have the folks that nominated please stand again? We need to have that. Okay, Marty was Les. And the second, who was Marty's second? Oh, Jackie. Thank you. All right, so now we're going to move on to some speeches. I'd like to, excuse me, can we please have your attention? If you're socializing, please take it out into the foyer. All right, Councilmember Joe McDermott, please nominate your candidate.
Thank you. I rise to nominate Leslie Harris for Seattle School Board. As a product of Seattle Public Schools and as a former budget analyst for the school district.
Please, please, please give the speaker your attention. And Sergeant at Arms, where are you? Okay, watch this crowd, ma'am. Come on. Thank you. I'm sorry to interrupt. You may begin.
Thank you. As a product of Seattle Public Schools and as a former senior budget analyst for the Seattle School District, I have seen the district inside and out. I know no one who's a better tenacious advocate than Leslie Harris for Seattle Public Schools and in everything Leslie takes on. Leslie has been an advocate and a parent of Seattle Public Schools and has invested far more time than she should into making sure that someone was watchdogging Seattle Public Schools tenaciously. And I'm sorry, you want the Sergeant at Arms to throw you out? I don't always agree with Leslie, but I always know that she is watching carefully, she's passionate, that she's engaged, and I also know that she's coming into this race being sure to approach being a board member as a policy maker, not as someone who's going to micromanage and try to make individual decisions in each school, which too often our school board does. She has the support of Eileen Cody. She has the support of Joe Fitzgibbon. She has the support of Nick Licata. She has a broad cross-section of support already in this community, and I ask you to join me in supporting Leslie Harris for Seattle School Board.
Please, your second speech, Russ Brubaker.
Yeah, very good.
This school board election has to be about change. There are good things that happen in our school district. We know that, but there are plenty of things that need concerted work. And unfortunately, we have a school administration that most of the time thinks everything is just fine, thank you. Well, it's not. There are problems with school construction, there are problems with how staff and principals are assigned, there are problems with transparency, the school district seems to have, many times, atrophied ears. They just don't listen very well. We need someone with the skills to make change, to help the administration develop some listening skills, to question authority when it needs to be questioned, and has the tenacity and persistence of our little litigator. Somebody who knows what real cooperation is, someone who will always work for you, and will be confrontational as necessary and appropriate. If you think this school district needs change, don't waste the chance to make it. Please support Leslie Harris.
Leslie Harris, candidate for school board position number 6. I am just so very thrilled that I care about greatly and see the future, and I'm going to work really darn hard for you. If you think status quo is okay, vote for my opponent. Easy squeezy. But I've worked 30 years for this party. I'm really proud of the education that I've got, and I'm going to give it my all. Thank you so much.
Are there any speakers against? Are there any speakers against? Are there any speakers against? All right, hearing none, we will move on to the next candidate. Les Trail.
Hi, so I nominated Marty. She asked me to do that. She happens to be my next door neighbor. And I'm kind of in a pickle because Marty and Leslie are the two people that I would always turn to for school board issues. So I don't know a lot about school board issues. Marty cannot be here tonight because she's at the school board meeting, and otherwise I would cede the time to the candidate. I do know Marty very well. She's my next door neighbor, as I said. We live in a community that works and deliberates our issues and is self-managed. I know her to be a very collaborative and a good listener, and I know that she also, when she's working as a school board member, she listens to people whose voices are often not heard, and not just the loudest voices in the room, but other people in her area to find out what they need and want. So, as I said, I don't know the school board issues, but I do know Marty, and that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Les. Jackie, you were her second. Would you like to cede your time to someone else? Well, I thank you very much, and I know who you are, but I can't think of Jonathan Knapp. And would you introduce what your position is as well?
So my name's
Excuse me, Jonathan, do you live in the 34th?
I do.
Thank you. Are you a member?
No. It turned out I'm not, but I thought I was. So I've spoken here before. My understanding was that people can speak, but not vote.
Well, this is a tough one. Did you join tonight?
They didn't ask. They didn't ask that I.
You were a member last year, I believe.
Yes, that's what was my understanding too, because I've spoken in the past and been here in the past.
All right. I think the chair is going to make a decision to let you go and speak, but I would like you to renew your membership tonight. Before you leave the room. Thank you.
So as I said, my name is Jonathan Knapp, and I am the president of the Seattle Education Association. So I'm here speaking in favor of the motion to endorse Marty McLaren. So if you want confrontation, yes. I gave it to you yesterday. I gave you confrontation yesterday. 5,000 Seattle educators in the street. And that is the passion that educators have. Marty McLaren is the single person on the school board right now who will listen to educators. She's a career educator. She worked hard to get elected. We supported her in 2011. She's not flashy like some people. I understand that. But when I need to talk to somebody on the school board and I need to put in a phone call or put in an email, she gets back to me. She listens to educator issues. And then she tries to work them through the school board. The school board is not a body right now that easily gets to consensus, and there's a lot of work to be done in order to bring it to consensus. I find that there's quite a bit of grandstanding on the school board, and Marty is the one person on the board that I know that I can go to help try to get to a consensus to fix those problems that are being talked about, and there are many. I agree with the characterization of the school district and all the things that need to be changed and worked on and developed. But she's the one person on the board that I'm able to go to, and our members are able to go to, and get a hearing, be listened to, and have those ideas show up. in the discussion among the school board members. So I urge you, I've worked with Leslie before too. She helped us identify candidates in 11. So I'm happy to have two great candidates from the 34th running for the school board position. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Our treasurer's right back there for your membership. Thanks. It appears that we're almost finished with the talent committee. Yeah, Chris, what? Yes, are there any speakers against? Chris Porter, would you like to speak against?
Somebody please time him.
2 minutes.
Hi, I'm Chris Porter. I'm a PCO, 34th, and I do not come to this microphone lightly to speak against someone that has received our nomination in the past. But there are two events that concern me with Marty's leadership on the school board that is cause for pause for me and should be for many members in this room, and we should rethink whether or not she has earned that endorsement. I came to Marty about a problem with the Genesee School reconstruction. $80,000 went in program fees to the architecture firm because they forgot to put the set of drawings in a fashion which is very common when they do that type of work. When I presented Marty with this information and said, what is the school board doing about it? She said, well, we'll do better next time. $80,000 is a lot to swallow for money they claim they don't have. I was really disappointed in that lack of leadership in how that passed and sailed through. The other one was the bank depository downtown was to be given to the school board free of charge minus some fees, and that would have been the impetus to start a school downtown. If we're concerned and we're saying that we want schools, families to live downtown, that was our avenue, that was our time. She was one of all school members, board members who voted against it. If we're looking for change, leadership, someone to step out and take a chance and push forward, Marty has not done it, in my opinion. It is not worthy of this nomination.
Thank you, Chris. Is there another speaker against? Cecilia Plau Vargas.
Hello. You see me every 4 years when there's a school board race because I'm a passionate advocate for students with disabilities. And I in fact have an appeal before the school board tomorrow, and I have no hopes that the majority of the board, including Marty, will listen. Recently, she was heard to say that, well, I listened to the loud voices before, so now I'm listening to the quieter voices. Well, yes, I'm one of the loud voices. I think we all are. We want the best for our students, particularly those students of color and disadvantaged students, but they get lost. When you go downtown to the John Stanford Center, take a number, because there are people whispering the quiet voices to the school board. We need change. I want someone strong, like Leslie Harris. Please give her your support.
Thank you, Cecilia. Before I make the announcement in regards to the ballot counting that has gone on, I'd like to give everybody an opportunity to take out their green ballot. And please put Seattle School Board number 6. Print the name of the candidate, and then print your name and sign it. And while you're doing that, I'll start with this announcement. We will be moving on to a second ballot. And I'm going to take this in the order that it was given to me. It's just random. Thank you. Chaz Redmond has 18 votes at 12%. Lisa Hergold has 63 votes at 40%. Phil Tattle has 6 votes at 4%. Shannon Braddock has 60 votes at 38%. And Brianna Thomas has 9 votes at 6%. So what this means in the process now is that we go on to a second ballot because no one received 60% outright. So it also means that the top 2 vote getters, which as I read this, is Lisa Herbold and Shannon Braddock. So, pardon me?
I'll put them up online in a second.
So let's hurry up and get those school board ballots on, and then we can collect the next ballots. So how this will work, we will take another ballot, and you can have your choice of voting for Shannon Braddock or Lisa Herbold. There is, can I finish speaking first? There is no endorsement at this point in time because we have had that opportunity to consider that, and now we will move on to the top 2. I will now take any questions. Pete Spalding, please stand. Because we considered it the first time, and unless no endorsement, but there was absolutely no vote on no endorsement. Well, I think that's an exaggeration, I'm sorry. So, green, school board, green, school board. And so you can compare, we will have, hi, Liz. Awesome. Oh, excellent. The next ballot for Seattle City Council position 1 will be what I would call the gold ballot. Does everybody see this? And I see a question over here. Yes, sir? Dual endorsements are part of the process, but we're not there yet. So if there's a third ballot, we will consider a dual endorsement at that time. So this will be the ballot for the next Seattle City Council, the gold ballot, if you want to prepare for that. However, I think we're going to have to wait to collect those ballots at this point in time. One second, folks. At this point in time, we will collect the gold ballots for Seattle City Council position 1. I need some volunteers. And Cecilia, thank you. Anyone else? Susan, thank you very much. Stan, thank you. And Peter, that ought to do it. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And when you come back with those ballots, would you please bring them to me? And then we'll have one person take those ballots up to the table. Okay? Thanks. Thank you very much. And the chair would like to know, I see Lloyd Hara in the room. Is John Nelson here? All right, not seeing him here yet. Okay. I see John Persak here running for position number 8. Thank you very much. Any other candidates here at this point in time? So on the agenda, while we're counting these many, many ballots, I know this is hard for everybody, but can I have you focus here? Thank you. Are there any other gold ballots? Last call, gold ballots. Any other gold ballots? Cecilia, you put them. Carol. Any other gold ballots? Stan? Thank you. Okay, if anybody hasn't voted yet, they're not being counted yet. They're sitting right here out in the open where we can see them. So if somebody wants to vote, plus the tally committee has to vote. So I'd like to go on further with this process of nominations and speeches. Please do, can I have your attention one bit here? So, at this point in time, there are 2 ballot initiatives. There are 2 ballot initiatives that are in the process of signature gathering. Our bylaws allow us to endorse signature gathering, but they do not allow us to endorse something for the ballot unless we have the final ballot language. So I want to make this clear distinction that we will be entertaining nominations to support the signature gathering of ballot initiatives. And the floor is now open for nominations. Chair recognizes Jay Heyman. And can you make your nomination? Jay, please make your nomination.
I move that we endorse the signature gathering efforts for Initiative 735.
Okay.
Overturn Citizens United.
Okay. Is there a second? There's a second. Danny Phillips, would you like to second? Okay. So this is Initiative 735. I'll go further down. Michael, can you move down to the initiative? Okay, move to amend I-735. The floor is still open. I happen to know there's a another initiative coming up to get signature gathering. I see Stefan, would you like to make a motion? All right, can you please come up here and give us that language and we can put it on the screen for everyone to see. All right. What is the number of that initiative?
732.
742. Are you still gathering initiatives or signatures? 742. And it's 732. All right. Is there another initiative gathering? All right, then I guess we'll skip that one. All right, so then let's go on. I'm going to give you each a minute speech because we're going to be bunching up here pretty well. Jay, would you like to speak first or do you want to cede your time? This is Initiative 735. Because Annie can also, okay, go right ahead, Annie. This is the nominating speech for Initiative 735.
Move to Amend is one of our member organizations in our coalition of grassroots organizations, but we are WAMEN, including Move to Amend. We are also not the Seattle 121 Honest Elections Seattle, although we approve of that, we support it, and they support us. We are also not I-1329, which was last year. We didn't get enough signatures last year. We only had 4 months. But this year we have 9 months. We have a good staff. We're going to do it this year. We are not talking about our lawmakers. Our Democratic lawmakers here, we think are wonderful. It's some people in Washington, D.C., and some other people in our legislature who might be influenced by money buying their campaigns. So the reason we want to amend the U.S. Constitution to revoke Citizens United is because we want progress on our values of health care, environment, energy, gun control, and peace. We can't make progress on those until we get the big money out of elections. So we need help. So please endorse our signature gathering campaign. Sign our petition if you haven't already. There are people in the room with these ugly green shirts on that have the petitions that you can sign. And also, please volunteer to help us. We're an all-volunteer campaign. And please donate money. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Annie. Another one of our PCOs down in Marion. Is there a seconding speech? Is there a seconding speech? All right, hearing none. Is there a speaker against? Is there a speaker against? Is there a speaker against? All right, so at this point, what I'd like to do, you all have your credentials? I think we'll do a credential count, and I think this is going to be pretty easy. Let's just do initially. If you vote to endorse the signature gathering of I-735, please raise your credentials. All right. Any opposed? Are there any opposed? I see 2. So it would appear to me that the signature gathering in I-735 has been endorsed. Thank you very much. All right, now we have Initiative 732. Stefan, would you like to come up and speak to that? And thank you for being a PCO.
Hi there, my name's Stefan, and I listen to NPR. If you listen to NPR, would you do me a favor, just raise your hand? How many of y'all heard the story about big oil going into Texas and shutting down local control over natural gas? How many of y'all have driven across the West Seattle Bridge and seen the monstrosity in Terminal 5? How many of y'all want to do something about that? What I'm here today asking you to do is endorse the signature gathering for initiative, it's 732, I always mix it up. It's 732. And what 732 does is it's passing a carbon tax in Washington State. Now, for those of you that are maybe concerned about the word tax, let me be clear. This is a tax, but it's revenue neutral. This is a tax increase and a tax cut. What this does is it raises carbon taxes, including our gas tax, by 25%, but it also cuts our sales taxes in Washington State by 1%. The other beautiful thing it does is it's going to help our working families by finally funding the Working Families Program our state passed years ago. We need 732. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to endorse this measure. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefan. Brian Allen, would you like to make a secondary speech? Another one of our PCOs?
No, that's Richard.
What happened?
No, I used to be a temporary PCO. And David Rosedale still here. I'm Brian Allen, and I'm one of the people that worked with Yoram Bauman to get the Carbon Washington initiative going in Washington State many years ago. This has been a long road to get to this initiative. I also spent 3 days with Al Gore and 350 of my newest friends in Iowa 2 weeks ago to become a member of the Climate Reality Project's Leadership Corps. We are running out of time on the issue of climate change. We need to put a price on carbon, and this is the best way to do it, to move things forward. Conservative economists join with progressive economists in embracing this approach to move the dial on climate change action. Washington is potentially leading the nation by putting this initiative in front of the voters. I urge you, can't urge you enough to support endorsing signature gathering on this initiative. Make it available to the people to decide.
Thank you very much, Brian. Are there any speakers against? Are there any speakers against? Are there any speakers against? Hearing none, I'd like to also do this with a, what's this called? The credential count. And I would also, and I should point out that if someone would prefer to have a ballot on this, we can, but you just need to move for that. All right, all of those in favor of endorsing signature gathering for I-732, please raise your credential. All right, can you put your credentials down? Are there any opposed? There are 3. All right, so I would say that this is passed rather neatly. Thank you very much. It seems our tally committee is just working as hard as they possibly can. Is John Arthur Nelson here? No? Wilson. Oh, God. No wonder he's not here. Thank you very much. And, thank you. All right, we do have the results now for Seattle School Board Position 6. Okay. With no endorsement, we have 6 votes at 4%. The votes for Marty McLaren are 12 at 9%. And Leslie Harris has 123 votes at 87%. Leslie, would you like to speak to the audience? Have you ever seen her speechless?
This is my home, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the trust that you have put in me on behalf of your kids and your future, and I will work my backside off for you, and I will be a great listener. I will be a great collaborator, and I have survived 30 years in the craziness of this party by using those 2 skills. And additionally, as a litigator, there is no budget I can't untangle, and SEA is going to be darn proud of it when I win. Thank you, John.
Do we have a video clip of Leslie's speeches? I just want to get a copy.
All right. Yeah, we will. We certainly will. In case you folks don't know, the West Seattle blog is here, and they are videoing as long as Jim Gunther hasn't broken their camera.
Big feet.
Well, I'm in a bit of a pickle. I've got more endorsements to do, and the candidates aren't here. Oh my gosh. John, you'd be so proud of me because I'm about to call you John Arthur Wilson instead of John Arthur Nelson. So this is awesome. We're going to move on then, and thank you. Congratulations, Leslie, and congratulations to the signature gathering campaigns. And now the chair will entertain motions for King County Assessor. The chair recognizes Mike Heavey.
I nominate Honorable Lloyd Herrick.
Okay, and is there a second?
Second.
I see Ivan Weiss. It's been moved and seconded. Are there any other nominations? Chair recognizes, I sure don't know your name. Can you speak louder? Lamoureux? Thank you. Is your first name Lamoureux? Lover. Thank you. Is there a second?
All right, I second that nomination.
Thank you very much. Mr. Second, could you please tell me your name again? It's flown out of my head. That's right. Thank you. All right. Are there any other nominations? These are the only two candidates that presented their King County Democrats questionnaires, and really are the only ones. But out of a knee-jerk, trying to be fair, I want to keep it all open. So at this point, we will move on to the speeches. Mike Heavey.
Thank you, Marcy. I rise in support of Lloyd Herrick. I first met Lloyd in 2009. He's been a staple in our community for decades. I, at the time, was on a circuit where we went to all the different legislative meetings, and every meeting, Lloyd was there. And that's really easy for a candidate. But as an elected official, he's been to our garden party every year. And for me, accessibility is really important in an elected official. And he definitely brings that to the assessor's office. My day job, I work at Zillow, and we work closely with assessor's offices all over the country. And I can tell you that he's bringing the same sort of innovation that we strive for at Zillow to the assessor's office to make it more streamlined and cost efficient. It's been endorsed by our own Joe Fitzgibbon, and most recently the 36th Legislative District. I'll cede the rest of my time to Mr. Lloyd Herrick.
Thank you very much, Mike. It's a pleasure to be here at the 34th District, to be a proud Democrat. We have endorsed by the 1st, the 5th, the 34th, no, 37th, the 48th, 40, well, see, everybody knows more than me, right? You know, I'm trying to remember them all. But we've gotten all of the Democrat legislative districts that have endorsed to date, and along with the Young Democrats, along with CMEC and many other unions, and I work for you. And that's why I'm really proud to be with you tonight, to see if I can earn your endorsement this evening. I see a lot of friends here, and hopefully we will have the support. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Lloyd. Is there a second speech? Martha, you're speaking as a second?
Yes, I'm speaking as a second. I am very proud to nominate Lloyd Herrick for re-endorsement. As many of you know, when Lloyd first ran for the office, things were kind of in a mess because people in critical positions kept dying. But Lloyd was able to step right in and set everything to rights. He revamped the website. The website is amazing. You can find anything you need to know about your property tax. As a result of how easy things are to find now, complaints have dropped by 50%. And the assessor's office has won national awards for the outstanding innovations in the way assessor's offices are run. And I strongly encourage you to support Lloyd Herrick.
Oh, you want to speak? Thank you very much.
Brevity is the soul. Let me see if there's anything else on these.
Actually, Martha, we got a whole lot going on here, so but I'm sure we all appreciate it. Thank you. Now we'd like to move on to John Arthur Wilson and Laverne. Would you like to speak?
Hi, I'm Laverne Lamoureux, member of the 34th District, and I'm here this evening to support John Arthur Wilson and ask you for your support and endorsement of him. I've known John a very long time. As a matter of fact, we both worked with King County, then Executive Ron Sims. John was the chief of staff, and he was the one who had to tell me I was driving the state cars too fast. That aside, we've remained friends over the years. We worked on many political campaigns together. Many of you in this room, I know John has supported, and I know him to be a good Democrat, a good hard worker, and I'll give the rest of my time to him. Otherwise, who knows what I might say.
Thank you, Laverne, and thank you all. I appreciate you all being here tonight. I want to talk to you a little bit about why we need a change in the assessor's department. You know, it's great to talk about technology, but frankly, the department is stalled on technology and is not moving forward like it can. The assessor's office had an opportunity to pursue a project that could have benefited the county to the tune of nearly $6 million, and it's fallen flat on its face. Second of all, we need to have an assessor who can truly be a team player and work with County Executive Dow Constantine and with Mayor Ed Murray. I can be that team player. A couple of things finally. I want to tell you a pledge I'm going to make to you. I'm not going to take money from anybody that's a notorious slumlord in our community, and I'm not going to support a huge salary increase that the incumbent sought this year that would have paid him $14,000 a year more than our governor. I'm going to stick with the salary and the conditions as it is because you deserve an assessor that will work for every dollar that you're paid already. I thank you all. I ask for your support.
Thanks, John. There was a second. Chris Jensen, would you also like to speak? Or do you want to cede your time? Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Chris Jansen, been a PCO in 34th for probably 20 years or so. I have sort of a unique position in that I've been a geographer my entire career and developed most of the digital infrastructure that powers the assessor's office and much of King County government as a whole. I've also been interesting because I was on the transition team for Lloyd Harrow when he first became assessor. Lloyd is a wonderful man, very smart, fantastic accountant, but did not really understand geography or property in the way that it runs as an information technology office. John Wilson was his chief of staff at the time. John, too, came from a communications and IT background, but he didn't really know geography and what goes into powering the online tools that we all come to use as second nature today. It was during the time after Lloyd became assessor and John his chief deputy that between the two of them, they developed a fantastic IT system, and John spearheaded against King County IT's interest the use of the iPad as an application for residential real estate appraisers to go out in the field. He fought the King County IT department and pushed to show that in fact the Apple system was more secure than a Windows system and could actually work through the synchronization of data, which is huge, as you can imagine, in a county this size, to get that brought to fruition. All of those enhancements have made a productivity gain that you are seeing today, and I believe that's why John Wilson is more suited to be the assessor going forward than Lloyd is today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. While I want to show you that this is the orange ballot, is there a speaker against? Speaker against? Speaker against. Okay, fine. So we're going to go on to the orange ballot. Please do put King County Assessor or some such at the top. Please put candidate name and then print your name and sign your name on the ballot. And while you're doing that, I'm going to make an announcement. We will be needing a third ballot, as neither candidate achieved the 60% needed to achieve an outright endorsement. The numbers are this. 2 people voted for no endorsement, which actually I think was not supposed to happen. So those are the spoiled ballots. So Shannon Braddock received 77 votes at 52%. Lisa Herbold received 70 votes at 47%. So I'm going to read to you section 6.33 from the endorsement rules. This is now the third ballot. If no choice on the second ballot receives 60% or more of the vote, only then shall a motion for a dual endorsement be accepted. To pass such a motion must receive 60% or more of the vote. If a motion fails to receive 60% or more, then no endorsement in the race will be made. So, and at this point, I also may take a show of credentials as opposed to a written ballot.
Do we make a motion?
The floor is open. Chair recognizes Susan Harmon.
Can we make a motion to do a dual endorsement?
Second.
Thank you.
I think she was asking a question, but yes, I will consider that a motion for a dual endorsement, and I see a second. Susan? Would you like to speak to your motion? And Ida, do you also want to speak as a second? And then we will also entertain speakers against.
I'm Susan Harmon. I'm a member of the 34th District. And I want to refer to Brianna in her things that she said earlier. I thought it was wonderful when she talked about us being in unity with each other and being in cooperation and caring about one another. I think it's a good thing that we all have strong feelings about it, but at a certain point you have to say, what do we do that's in the best interest of everyone? I think a dual endorsement is in the best interest of the 34th District because we're saying that we know we have 2 very valuable people in our community that either one can speak really well for us. And I think it's the way to go to endorse both of these really beautiful women. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Ivan?
I have a parliamentary inquiry.
One moment, Ivan. Yes? Lou Freeman.
The inquiry is, what is the exact procedure we're following here? Is there a necessity to go for this vote, or can we go to another vote?
This is the only vote left.
It's the only vote left.
This is it. Okay? All right, and so we'll go on with the speech.
We all knew it was coming down to this anyway. Give them a duel and let's take it to the street.
I'm pretty sure that's the quote of the night. All right, so at this point in time, yes. Yes, I've already discussed that. I'm able to do that at my discretion. And all those in favor of having a dual endorsement, wait a minute. Mike, you have a question?
Point of order, those percentages were calculated with the two spoiled ballots in there.
Yes.
I know it doesn't look,
That's true, but it doesn't make a difference.
It wouldn't be 6%.
Okay, all right, let's go back to what we were doing. All those in favor of a dual endorsement of Shannon Braddock and Lisa Herbold for Seattle City Council Position 1, please raise your credential. The tally committee says yes. All right, okay, any opposed? I see one guy over there. Who are you? Oh, Keith. All right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, like maybe 6. So I think we're good to go. And we have dual endorsed both Shannon Braddock and Lisa Herbold for Seattle Position 1. I'd like to encourage you all to please volunteer for these candidates. When I ran for the legislature 5 years ago, I actually really can't walk a precinct anymore. I walked so much. And so I'm going to ask you all to please help the candidate of your choice. They really need the help. Tamsin Spangler, are you still here? I'm right here. Okay, thank you. All right. So congratulations, and I tell you, let's give Shannon and Lisa a chance to say, hot damn, come on up.
In the words of our chair, hot damn. Thank you, everybody. I'm really proud to have your endorsement. I'm proud to share it with Shannon. This could be a great race. I think we both have lots of good ideas, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much, and thank you to everybody who came out tonight. I got to say, I always love this display of democracy. It's pretty awesome. I'm really excited to keep the race going and move forward, and to quote Leslie Harris, this is my home. I'm really happy to be here and happy that you all were here to bring your support to all of us who are putting ourselves out there for this District 1 council race. So get in those doors. Let's have fun.